I believe that Donald Trump is someone who is not fully understood for how compassionate and what a great boss he is to women. He's been promoting and elevating women in the Trump Corporation, in the Trump campaign, in the Trump cabinet, certainly in the Trump White House. It's just a very natural affinity for him. But I thought it was very telling this year, Mercedes, that many women looked past the commonality of gender and were looking for what they shared in terms of issues, ideology, vision, and just what they want out of their futures for themselves.
The Democrats right now are living in an alternative universe. They are in denial, and they're angry. I mean, you and I were talking backstage before this. The anger on the left, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, they're right now opposing everything. Democrats in the Senate are filibustering absolutely everything. This is the longest we've been. The cabinet is still not confirmed. This is the longest we've been since George Washington without confirming a cabinet. I think we'll have another Supreme Court vacancy this summer. If that happens, as much as the left is crazy now, they will go full Armageddon meltdown. Because the next vacancy is where we have the ability to get back and restore our basic constitutional protections.
President Trump rescinded the Obama guidelines on transgender. So you put out a letter afterwards basically saying that you want to protect all children, all students. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to clarify what you meant and state what you meant and the ethos of that letter.
Sure. Thank you, Kaylee. Well, I think the statement spoke to it for itself and to a large extent. But let me just say that this issue was a very huge example of the Obama administration's overreach to suggest a one-size-fits-all federal government approach, top-down approach to issues that are best dealt with and solved at a personal level and a local level. And I have made clear from the moment I've been in this job that it's our job to protect students and to do that to the fullest extent that we can, and also to provide students, parents, and teachers with more flexibility around how education is delivered and how education is experienced, and to protect and preserve personal freedoms.
Let me ask each one of you, what's the biggest misconception about what's going on in the Donald Trump White House?
Well, in regard to us two, I think the biggest misconception is everything that you're reading. President Trump brought together the party and the conservative movement. And I've got to tell you, if the party and the conservative movement are together, similar to Steve and I, it can't be stopped.
And if you remember, the campaign was the most chaotic, by the media's description, most chaotic, most disorganized, most unprofessional, had no earthly idea what they were doing. And then you saw them all crying and weeping that night on the 8th and the reason it worked is President Trump. All he's doing right now is he's laid out an agenda with those speeches, with the promises he made, and our job every day is just to execute on that, is to simply get a path to how those get executed. And he's maniacally focused on that. And that's what the mainstream media won't report. Just like they were dead wrong on the chaos of the campaign, and just like they were dead wrong in the chaos of the transition, they are absolutely dead wrong about what's going on today, because we have a team that's just grinding it through on what President Donald Trump promised the American people. And the mainstream media better understand something. All of those promises are going to be implemented. It's not only not going to get better, it's going to get worse every day in the media. And here's why. But by the way, the internal logic makes sense. They're corporatist, globalist media that are adamantly opposed to an economic nationalist agenda like Donald Trump has. If you think they're going to give you your country back without a fight, you are sadly mistaken. Every day it is going to be a fight, and that is what I'm proudest about Donald Trump. All the opportunities he had to waver off this, all the people have come to him and said, oh, you got to moderate. Every day in the Oval Office, he tells Reince and I committed this to the American people, I promised this when I ran, and I'm going to deliver on this.